Hey, Greg Yetter here. This video is meant for people who I have a working relationship with, and it's all about how we can communicate with each other most effectively. If you're working remotely, I encourage you to make some kind of content telling people how they can best work with you, so you can minimize downtime and wasted time in your communications. Let's dive right into it. First, async communications. I used to be an email junkie, and I would prefer to have longer meetings that were well prepared and thought out. However, I realized over time that some people thought that communication was very off-putting, and ultimately we did not maximize our creative output. So these days, while I still use a lot of email and I'm still on Zoom for hundreds of hours a month, I actually prefer to use tools like Slack and Microsoft Teams for a lot of our communications. Slack and Teams are great because you can send shorter communications that are less formal, and you don't feel like you're burdening the person as much when you're making communications. But please don't do this to me where you're expecting me to be online the same time as you. I'll try to respond to you as quickly as possible, but I've got a lot of things to do. So the best thing to do is just leave your question and I'll respond to it as soon as I can. If we both happen to be online at the same time, then we can consider hopping on a call. Now, when you're sending messages over text, especially when they're short, it's easy to assume bad faith. Please do not assume bad faith. Oftentimes, directness can come across as coldness, but it's often just intended to be efficient communication. You've probably heard from some managers, "Don't bring me problems, bring me solutions." This is toxic advice. Please bring me problems. I do want you to work and try to figure out the problem a little bit, but try just a little bit. 15 minutes, 30 minutes. If you can't figure it out, bring it to me. Don't waste a whole day trying to figure things out. I've probably done your job before, and I don't mean to say that like I'm a know-it-all. You are probably way better at the task than I am. The thing is, as a scrappy entrepreneur, I've had to do a lot of things, often at low budget, and learn how to do them. So I actually have a picture of how these things fit into the overall business, even if you're much better at it. So it's better to bring to me problems, even if you don't know how to solve them. And also, when I ask how things are going, I don't want to hear things are great if they're actually not going great. I want to know as soon as possible when things are going off course. And this is not going to put your job in jeopardy. On the contrary, we can work together to get to a solution faster. So please be honest, it only breeds more respect. And finally, don't be afraid to come to me for help. I might not always be able to respond instantly, but I do want to collaborate, because I think when we work together and share ideas openly, we build the best products. To recap, I prefer asynchronous communications instead of waiting for meetings. I want you to be direct but respectful with everybody in the company, and I don't want you to take things personally. If you have a problem and you can't figure it out, I want you to bring it to me as soon as you know that you're not immediately going to figure it out. And finally, if you ever need help with anything, please come to me so we can collaborate. Thanks so much, and I look forward to working together.